Hey guys, this is Lazarus. Today I'm gonna talk about Ochado, Bobang, and later on a bonus analysis of Schneider and Jito. Let's start with Ochado. Ochado comes with a team skill that gives everybody 20% if you use 5 or more toughness type non-Japanese players, and a passive skill a Japanese player killer, so his stats rise by 15% versus Japanese players. Special skills are Shuffle 1-2 with 435 momentum, and 2 A-ranked knuckleball shoot with 335, and super technique dribble with 325. Hidden skills are Bond with 2 or more skill type non-Japanese players that gives everyone 2.5%. Special skill block, so he will block one special skill of your matchup opponent. 1-2 range and hand, so after a successful 1-2 his distance, or what usually will that player cover, will be increased by 50%, and stat handicap resistance, so he will shield your team by 3%. Okay. Special skill block is obviously always good. Today, when you have more skills at your disposal after you boundary break a unit, that's not so useful anymore, but still can really help you in some rare occasions. Shield is obviously good, and he has a really easy bond to activate. When we look at his raw stats, we can see that he is a not so good dribbler at 40.3k. Good shooter at 69.9, good passer at 52.9, great 1-2 with 60.6 because of the better special skill. When he gets a better special skill in pass, he'll be great there too. And he is a not so good tackler at 41, and not so good interceptor at 36.1. On the right side we can see his stats versus Japanese players. So he is a good dribbler at 48.4, good ground shooter again, I mean great ground shooter really, at 84k, pass is great at 63.5, excellent 1-2 at 72.7 because again of the better special skill, and now his defensive stats look a tad better too, so he is a good tackler at 49.3 and still not so good and intercepting with 43.3. Obviously he will not represent a threat to Japanese or non-Japanese players that are very good at passing and organizing the play, but against defenders and maybe Japanese players defenders he will be obviously very much more dangerous because, well, he has both S-ranked skills there, so that's why he's really not so bad there. So yeah, against defenders he will take some balls and he will make a pressure. Obviously those players that are very designated killers of one type, I don't prefer those because yeah, when you look at this, everything he will do successfully and often successful is 1-2. Pass is great too, you know, so he can obviously pass the ball, but you know, with that special skill you must, you know, run away from those great interceptors. Obviously those great interceptors will intercept this too, but you know, it's easier to not match with those. Well, you know, obviously against the Japanese players he looks pretty decent all around, but yeah, looking at the most often Japanese player and a keeper you have today is Zenzo. He's a toughness player, so which means that Zenzo has a color advantage there, so you know, I don't like this guy, you know, he's pretty limited and easy to kill by everybody, and he will not really kill Japanese players, you know. So yeah, let's talk about Bobang. Bobang comes with a team skill that gives everybody 20% if you use 5 or more agility type non-Japanese players, and enhance special skills for his high flying shoots. So his high flying shoot special skills will have a stronger force of 15%, which is awesome. Special skills are Bobang jumping header with 440, which is great because that's what you need with him. S ranked speed dribble with 370 and 2 A ranked long-legged volley with 325 and long-legged tackle with 290, so I guess he has long legs, right? Hidden skills are bond with 3 or more skill type players that gives everybody 2%. Another bond with 3 or more skill type players that debuffs your opponent by 3%. Special skill block, so he will block one special skill of your matchup opponent just like Ochado. High ball request, 80% of the time he will receive a high ball, that's all he needs. And recovery, so his stun time will be reduced by 50% when he loses a matchup, which is great because he will not sleep in the offside for 5 hours. Bobang is very good on high ball, so this is obviously higher because of that, and you know, because of his passive that enhances his special skill on a high ball, which is great. Pretty much with those players, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You can see that left and right side are the same because none of his hidden skills or passive skills enhances his numbers out of any position. So this is it, and so yeah, let's start talking about everything. So not a good dribbler, not a good passer, not a good tackler or interceptor, doesn't have a ground shoot, and volley is kinda good at 67.6, but this is his main selling point, obviously. High ball is 94.1. So that is in the range of the power of the new Dreamfest Hino on a high ball on a first shoot, but this guy will have that power, you know, throughout the whole game if he receives a high ball. Obviously Hino will be more dangerous because he has a ground shoot, better volley, and a high ball shoot that has blowaways, and ground shoot has blowaways. So basically, yeah, Hino will obviously have much more success because he's better at everything, and you know, people will fly. Downside is that Hino doesn't have a high ball request, so this guy will be more reliable on his strongest shot, and this special skill block will clearly help you when you match up in the air against your opponent. And if he doesn't have a you know, maybe 2 blocks or 2 interceptions, he will be in trouble if you block his block. And you know, I had one encounter with this guy up until now. It was on online ranked series, my last stream, and he did shoot with this strongest shoot, Bobang jumping header, and he blocked my Xeno's best save, and I saved it with miracle jump save, with miracle find save. That is that 450 momentum punch of Xeno. You know, of course, if that was Hino, he will blow me straight, you know, through the orbit. But of course, this guy will be very successful shooter, scorer. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Just pass him the ball in the box and shoot. If you have Tsubasa, Super Dreamfest Tsubasa, chance maker him out of the matchup or closer to the goal if you don't find your opponent central defender really threatening, because yeah, this will be really tough to block. That's basically it. Pretty straightforward. Great guy, you know. With your center forward you only need to score, and basically that position of attacking midfielder, just forget about it. Put him as a central forward and that's it. Everything else he pretty much sucks, so forget about it. If he gets a better pass, you know, he can maybe make some successful passes, but he'll be probably bullied by everybody, whatever, so whatever, you know. Pass him the ball in the box, shoot, that's it. Rinse, repeat. Now let's talk about Schneider. Schneider comes with a team skill that gives everybody 17% if you use 5 or more toughness type non-Japanese players, and a type link for toughness players, so the more toughness type players in the match, the higher stats are boosted, so maximum 10% 5 players, which means on passive skills that you need 5 toughness players and him, so total of 6 toughness players to maximize his passive effect. On the point side it works differently, so if it says that you need 3 or more, you really need him and 2 more. So special skills are Neo Fire Shoot with 475 momentum, which sucks, and 2 A ranked Flaming Interception with 320 and Fire Step with 315. Yeah. Hidden skills are Bond with 3 or more toughness type non-Japanese players that gives everybody 3%, which is really easy to accomplish and a great boost of 3%. Counter move for Japanese players, so his stats rise by 15% versus Japanese players, which, you know, I don't know why club uses that counter move and Japanese player killer on the other side, because we have Ochado, and if you remember Ochado, Japanese player killer. And when you have a hidden skill, somebody says, you know, somebody has Japanese player killer, and on the other side some other player has a passive counter move on Japanese. I don't know what are they smoking, you know. It's really confusing to have 50 ways of calling one same thing. So Japanese player killer 15% pressure, so he's after he wins a matchup against a player, on the next command that player will be debuffed by 10%, which is great, and stat handicap resistance 10%, so he will shield himself only with 10% shield. Basically, when you look at his stats, you can see that all this is pretty much red instead of Flaming Interception, which means that you need all these special skills to enable his full power, and plus this Dragon Roar you need Levin and Shio to enable it. You can use Supreme Fire, which is 500 momentum, but let's just start talking about his raw power. So first, this left side is activated his passive skill, because, you know, out of this match, out of this team where you don't have 5 toughness players at least, or 6 with him, you don't want to use him because he really sucks. Club really did murder this guy, and this is really injustice for a Super Dreamfest character. So he is, you know, when you look at that, he is only a forward, and look at these numbers. So non-Japanese players, defenders, good defenders will kill him, you know, he'll be bullied most of the time whatever he does. So 48.6 is good, again, you know, nothing special. 42, 48, he's a good tackler at 48.2, so he'll put some pressure on your opponent defense, and his shoot is good. Let's say ground shoot is good at 71.3. Compact garbage, of course, with no blowaways, no effects, sucks at 62.9, and a fire overhead kick is better at 66.4, and, you know, has blowaways, so that raises that value. Against Japanese players, he looks better, so he is 55.2, that's a good dribbler. He's a good passer at 48.3, still not very great. 1-2 is better at 54.6, so basically with these numbers, if you guess the right action, you'll probably win most matchups if your opponent is not Gentile, you know. Good tackler at 54.8, and, you know, interception sucks on both occasions, so whatever. When we look at his shoots, we can see that he's a great ground shooter at 81, and considering this shoot his blowaways, which is obviously even better. Good volley with that compact garbage at 71.1, and good overhead with 75.4. You cannot say that this guy is bad, you know, because if he was a newly released gacha character, you would say that, you know, he has some value. Pressure will be, you know, rarely ever utilized because, you know, if I mean, let's get real, those new defenders are really crazy, and if this guy is meant to be played as a central forward, so he'll be matched up with those beasts of a defender we see today, and most of what he does, he will be bullied, but shoots, so you know, so Zenzo will not have a problem with this guy. Pressure again will only activate, you know, mostly when you shoot, and you know, on the next matchup that defender will be even weaker. I'm really disappointed, you know, because I love this guy. I wanted to use him, and I'm not gonna use him because you have, when you look at the non-Japanese toughness type players on a forward side, you really don't have anything to, you really, it's obvious who will you choose. So Natureza and Fantana are obvious choices. Of course, this guy has an easier bond than Fantana, but Fantana is better all-around player than this guy. What can I say? As a Super Dreamfest character, when we see that Hyuga blue one, like, I don't know, 1 month ago, got such a great hidden ability, we thought that this guy will get something similar, but no, it's not nowhere near Hyuga. Hyuga is just so, that blue Hyuga got one of the best hidden abilities ever, and he is one of the best forwards today. Of course, if you have those special skills or those combo special skills, this guy, no, is good. Obviously, if you don't have nobody better, of course he has an easy bond, so you will push him in your team, of course, and use him and have some success. But on the higher level PvP, you have better choices than this guy, which is sad, you know. Yeah, let's talk about Jito. Jito comes with a team skill that gives everybody 20% if you use 5 more skill type Japanese players, and penalty area master as a passive, so his stats will rise by 20% when he is in the penalty area. Special skills are sliding dash block with 440 momentum, and to A rank those little whatever with 340, and see what I'm whatever at 315, which are intercept and pass. Hidden skills are bond with 2 or more skill type Japanese players that gives everybody 2.5%, which is super easy to accomplish. Insight master, which is obviously great, so if you guess the right action, his stats will rise by 25%. Recovery, so after a lost matchup he will recover 50% faster, which is great obviously too, and he will shield your team with 3%, which is awesome. So everything looks great. We'll first talk about his raw stats. So everything here sucks. This is good, bad, and you know, I don't know. if you guess the right action, so this will activate, so you will be a good dribbler, good passer, great tackler, great blocker, and a good interceptor at 60k. Obviously toughness type players and the best passers from skill type will have no problems against him, but he will still, you know, intercept something. He will not be really useless with 60k. That's good, you know. In the penalty area, he is a good dribbler at 42.9, good passer at 45.6, good tackler, good blocker, and good interceptor. All around really good. If you guess the right action in a matchup, he is a good dribbler, I mean better than so we can say great for a defender at 51.9, great passer for defender at 55.1, and awesome tackler at 76.8, awesome blocker at 77.9, and now really good at interception too with 69.2. So yeah, this guy is great. really straightforward, great central defender with a really easy bond to activate when you see that Tsubasa, skill type Tsubasa, has a place in every team because of his chance maker and all around great player he is. This is a second skill type Japanese player if you need a defender, and this is easily one of the best hidden abilities to a gacha unit. At his position and Schneider at his position, this guy is great and Schneider not so much. You know, this guy is one of the best skill type Japanese players you can use, skill type Japanese defenders you can use. Obviously really useful shield, so that's not a bond, he will shield whatever, everyone in your team, and really easy bond to activate. And he will not be only a dead weight, he can be used as a side defender too. If you guess the right action, he can really help you and take some balls there, even make a few passes. One obvious downside is that everything he has is not his best special skill, so if it is, the letters would be black. So yeah, high power block is little kind of expensive, and sliding dash block is you know, really cheap at 375 stamina, so obviously you have both, and when you need that extra push in power, you use this one. One more thing that I would like to mention is that Jito is good at high balls, so every high ball he will get his stats bumped up by an additional 12.5%. So what can I say? Awesome central defender, great central defender, beast of a player, and I really like this guy. Congrats on the free unit you just got, and I'm sorry about Schneider. If you like this video, like it. If you didn't like it, fuck it. Write down in the comments below what do you think about these players. All the links to social media are in the description of the video below. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Subscribe. See you later. Bye.